What is up, guys? Stark here. In today's character spotlight, I'm taking a look at the new 5-star servant that's currently in the summon banner, and that is going to be Ryougi Shiki. Now, there are two different versions of this character available as of this recording, and that's going to be the 5-star Saber and the 4-star Assassin. In this video, I'm looking at the 5-star Saber, and I'm going to throw her pictures on the screen right now so you guys can see them. I really do like this character's character design and artwork. I think they're probably some of the better ones in the game. And now I'm going to throw up the stats for this character. Like I said, she is a 5-star Saber, so she will go up to level 90. And at level 90, she will have 10,721 attack, which ranks her, I think it's 18th overall. And at level 90, she's going to have 15,453 HP, which ranks her second overall for current heroes in the game. So overall, she does have some pretty good stats. She is a Saber, so she's going to have higher HP. And her attack, you know, like I said, she's ranked 18th, so that's a bit of, you know, lower to top, you know, lower the top tier. If you do decide to go ahead and max her out, she's going to end up with 13,736 attack and 18,929 HP. So overall, she does have some really good stats. She's just going to be a little bit weaker on the attack stat and won't be dealing as much damage. But she does make up for it with her skills and her Noble Phantasm, which are all very, very good. So moving on here to her servant skills. First up is going to be the Mystic Eyes of Death Perception C, which is a self-target buff as well as an AoE buff or debuff for the enemy. And this will apply Ignore Invincibility for 1 turn, it will increase her own arts card effectiveness for 1 turn, and it will decrease death resistance of all enemies for 1 turn. So this is really good. It combos in nicely with her Noble Phantasm, which we will talk about a little bit later on. But as for the increases, it's going to be a 25% increase at level 1 and a 40% increase at level 10 for the arts card effectiveness. And then for the decreased death resistance on the enemies, it'll be a 60% increase or decrease at level 1 and then a 80% at level 10. So that's really good. It's a really amazing skill. You want to max that out as soon as possible. Moving on here to her second skill is going to be the Shining Cloud B skill. Now this skill is a self buff, and it will increase her attack for 3 turns, and it will also increase mental debuff resistance for 3 turns as well. So the attack buff starts at 15% at level 1 and it goes up to 25% at level 10. And then for the debuff resistance, it starts at 18% at level 1 and goes up to 36% at level 10. And then finally for her third skill is going to be the Yin Yang A skill, which will restore HP, but it will also decrease her Noble Phantasm gauge. So this is a little unfortunate, because if you use this, the odds are you can't actually use her Noble Phantasm in the same turn, unless you have a different character that can buff up her Noble Phantasm gauge after you use the skill. So you could say use Yin Yang first to heal up, and then use a character like Waver to restore that 10% that you lost. Or if you do have multiple copies of this character and you overcharge the Noble Phantasm gauge, losing that 10% might not necessarily be the worst thing that could happen to you. So there are a few ways of getting around it, but overall it is a pretty bad, you know, negative status that you do inflict upon yourself by using the skill. But the heal is pretty nice though, you know, 2,000 at level 1 and 5,000 at level 10. It could definitely come in handy if you do need to use it. Moving on here to her class skills, she does have 3, the first one being Magic Resistance A, which will increase debuff resistance by 20%. The second one is Independent Manifestation C, which will increase critical strength by 6%, death resistance by 6%, and mental debuff resistance by 6%. Her third and final class skill is going to be the Connection to the Root A, and this will increase Buster, Arts, and Quick Card effectiveness by 6%. So moving on here to her Ascension and her skill enhancement materials. For the Ascension, you're going to need Feathers, Talons, Dust, and the Demon Hearts, and for her skill enhancements, you're going to need the Feathers, the Dust, the Crystals, and the Lanterns. Now moving on here to my favorite part of this character, the command cards and her Noble Phantasm. She has 1 Quick, 2 Arts, and 2 Busters, but you do primarily only want to use her in an Arts team, where she can keep recycling her Noble Phantasm and spamming it, and just keep, you know, with the Arts card theme, and just, you'll be spamming your Noble Phantasm a lot. And her Noble Phantasm is definitely one you want to spam as much as possible. It is an arts card, and it will deal heavy damage to all enemies that ignores defense, and it will also remove debuffs from all allies, which already by itself is really good, but it does have an overcharge effect where it will have a chance to instantly kill any enemy that it hits. Now this is really good because you can combo it with her first skill, which will decrease their resistance to death. Now this isn't a huge player against like major bosses, but against fodder waves, it can definitely wipe them all out, and it has a really high success rate. So, you know, if you want to use this on like wave 1, go ahead and knock out that wave, and then you could probably recycle this back up, maybe wave 2, especially on the boss stage, and get it off again, and then you could focus all of your firepower on the boss itself. So you know, overall it's a really good Noble Phantasm, and I definitely like the way it is. Moving on here to her craft essences that you can use on this character. So first up is going to be the craft essence for the level 10 bond, and that is going to be the Shiki Kusora Taiyu card. And this will increase arts card effectiveness of all allies by 15% while on the field. So this is a really good craft essence for this character, but it does take a while to hit level 10 bond. So in the meantime, you could throw on projection for the 15% increase, or formal craft for the 25% increase for arts cards, and see you get there and get that level 10 bond craft essence. So that's going to wrap up this character spotlight. I will be leaving you guys here with Shiki's Noble Phantasm, and I will see you guys tomorrow.
すべては夢だ。これが名残